Hello everybody, welcome to another Expanded Guide. Today we're going to be talking about Rex Murphy, and because Travis is the resident seeker of the group, Travis, why don't you talk about who Rex Murphy is? You do this one.
He's a reporter. He's got a pretty good stat line. 3 brain, 4 book, 2 fists, and 3 foot. Great defensive it's almost a Manny stat line.
Yeah.
Very close.
Very close. Just that one little fist snuck through.
Yeah. And his... Well, it's because he was designed in Dunwich.
Mm-hmm.
His ability is after you succeed a skill test by 2 or more while investigating, you get to discover a clue your location. This has been errated to limit once per round, and strongly recommend that you play it that way, even if you don't play with any other taboo changes, because as printed, Rex Murphy, kind of trivializes the game.
Yeah.
It is extremely easy to just... You basically get up to 3 extra actions every turn.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that being said, so we're going to talk about this in the context of it being once per round.
Yes, yeah, going forth.
Yeah.
Because, I was even, I'm going to talk about this after you talk about it, but Rex's ability deserves some special mention, so I'll let you keep going on the card and all that.
Yeah, sure. It does do some neat things. It says while investigating, so anytime you play a card that says investigate on it, you can trigger this ability. That's for things like Unearth the Ancients. That's what it's called, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Even if you... Unearth the Agent says, discover a clue, you get to put assets into play instead, but Rex will still get you an additional clue provided that you succeed by 2 or more.
Yeah.
Playing something like In the Know, where you investigate different location, if you succeed by 2 or more, you get a clue from that location from In the Know, and also one from your location with Rex's ability.
Yeah.
He's got his Elder Sign effect is +2. You may choose to automatically fail instead to draw 3 cards.
That's a great Elder, especially because I'm in a basic investigate action where the auto fail hurts the least. Just be like, yeah, I'll do this. But then if you committed a card to it and you want that effect to go off, you're like, thank you for the Elder Sign game.
Yeah, no, every time it's +2, which is actually kind of silly for this. Automatically failing a test draw 3 cards is kind of insane.
Well, the +2 is there to
entice you
to get his ability. You're like, oh, I'm going 4 to 4. Oh, the Elder Sign, let's go.
Yeah, every time I draw the star on Rex Murphy, it doesn't matter what the test is. I'm like,
there's a pause. Yeah,
I'm like, do I need 3 cards more than this?
Yeah.
Sorry, do I want 3 cards more than this? Anyway, and then he's got 6 hearts and 9 brain, which is a fantastic health pool to have.
Yeah, because he gets 1 more point in that because of his Dunwich thing, right? Wow.
Yeah. And he's got pre-base, he's got Dunwich deck building, 3 cards, secret cards 0 to 5, neutral 0 to 5, and up to 5 level 0 cards from any other class. And his deck building requirements, search for the truth, Rex curse, and a basic weakness. And then he also cannot play fortune cards because he is cursed.
Dude, I'm curious to see if no fortune slipped through in this video. So we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Because I played a Lucky in Rex once.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if someone that I don't think I have, but one of us had played Look What I Found in Him.
Yeah, I could see that too.
See that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, extremely powerful Seeker. Easily the best on Tabooed. Even Tabooed, still very, very strong. Mm-hmm. His signatures you can see down below are search for the truth, draw X cards or X number of clues on Rex Murphy to a maximum of 5. Which is just 3 book icons, so an extra clue, effectively, when you don't need it. But when you do need 5 cards, oh baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of silly. And then his curse is his weakness, which you put in the playing threat area when you draw it. And each time you would succeed at a skill test, you return the revealed chaos token to the bag and reveal a different one. And then if this effect causes you to fail the test, you shuffle Rex's curse into your deck. Limit once per test. So every single test you do that you would pass, you have to draw a second token to check if you pass again with Rex's curse in play, and it stays in play until you fail, in which case it gets shuffled into your deck. This is easily the worst part about playing Rex. It's incredibly tedious to play with, and honestly, most of the time just doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's true.
That's the worst part about it. It's it just doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
Occasionally it'll steal a clue that you would have gotten on succeeding by 2 or more.
Sometimes it gets you an extra clue.
Yeah, actually that is true. Sometimes it actually causes you to...
Sometimes you hit a -3 and you're like, oh darn, I only succeeded by 1, put it back in -1, you're like, hey.
Yeah. It's one of those things that for a long time Rex was kind of the joking whipping boy of the Arkham Files games. He always had the thing where his mechanic was being cursed.
You're garbage for the entire game.
And then he comes out in Arkham Horror, the card game, and he's like, I'm number 1!
Yeah, he is.
And he still is his ability is very good. When people talk about, for example, Norman Withers, there's a lot of talk about the astronomical Norman Withers, where you're looping a deduction to get an extra clue each turn. All of that work to just be Rex Murphy, right?
To just be this guy.
Like, it's the basis of just, like, the thing, because it's not even, like, the fact that it's an extra action. It's just what you're doing normally, you're passively getting more value out of.
Yeah, and, like, I understand the design philosophy behind it. I think that their design philosophy for Seekers early in the game was they wanted them to be the support class, but also the clue gang class.
Yeah.
And they were like, so if we want them to do all these stupid, slow support things, we need them to get clues more efficiently.
Yeah.
But people were like, you know, I'm just going to use my extra actions to get more clues. And they were like, I didn't think of that.
And then, like Pathfinder comes out to further increase their actions to help people and get clues. And then Rex is like, I could get 6 clues in 1 turn.
Yeah, like,
just fucking watch me. And I mean, like, Rex is still fun to play, but he's also, like, one of those things that you also I don't feel compelled to play him all the time, but he is a fun investigator.
Yeah.
Just because he's good.
It is, like, a little unfair to say because I don't actually know what the designers were thinking when they designed their early card pool, even though it kind of points to that.
Yeah.
You can infer a little bit. But, like, it's kind of like when they designed Oko and Magic. The designers are just like, we didn't think people would do that. And you're like, but why? Like... Did you not actually play test with these cards?
Man, the Oko thing was nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it's, like, very similar here. Like, he can just get extra clues so he can do other dumb things with his actions. Like, Daisy has that, too. She has the extra action books to the
That's actually a big
books.
part of it, yeah. It's just, like, get extra actions for a lot of the...
Yeah, and they're like, no, I'm just going to get more clues and win the game. They're like,
Yeah. Didn't think you'd do that.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about some notable cards. Because he's a Dunwich investigator, we're going to talk about all of the cards that are in his color and neutral, and then we're going to hop into a few of the splash cards. We have magnifying glasses, helps you get more clues, but helps you get more clues with your ability by putting your book higher. The weakness that Rex had earlier was that he has lowish books, so you need to put a bit more into him than you would otherwise, like Daisy or Mandy.
Yeah.
But then he can get more out of his book than Daisy or Mandy can naturally.
Yeah, that is one thing that's actually, like, not obviously powerful about Rex. Is that normally for, like, clue investigators, you need to boost their book and then also play cards that allow them to, like, get action compression. But on Rex's side of things, the action compression is all built in. You only need to boost his book, so you can devote your entire deck to that.
And that's why, like, you very rarely see a Rex deck that is, like, fun, you know? Like, you get, like, fun Mandy decks, you get, like, fun Daisy decks.
You can get neat Rex decks, like, with Dark Horse and Mariner's Compass, but at the end of the day, you're just like, I take 3 clues.
Yeah, that's basically, like, a Rex build comes down to efficiency, right? Like, his ability doesn't say, do this fun thing. It says, hey, do you want to win? Oh, Book of Lore, you can use it to find more cards to help refill your hand or, you know, find more deductions to get even more clues. You can also, like, as Travis said, like, if you want to play, like, a more fair Rex deck and just use that action that you got the clue to use Old Book of Lore, go for it. Dr. Milan Christopher with Rex was a menace back in the day. Still is, yeah. But to a lesser extent now they're both tabooed. But
like, it actually doesn't, like, change his play patterns all that much because you can only get the extra clue once per turn. You only actually end up doing, like, you know, 1-ish 2 investigates per turn. That's how I was playing Rex last time I played him. Was focusing on loading up 1 test with many extra clue effects as I could, passing the 1 test, and then just, like, doing whatever else with my
moving to the next location with more clues on it. But he's going to give you resources for investigating and also gives you a book to go higher. Research Librarian can help you find more tomes. Working a hunch lets you discover a clue at your location. Notably, discovering a clue is not the same as successfully investigating by 2 or more, so you don't get extra Rex bonuses off that. Deduction is Rex in a card. It basically just gives you more clues. It's in the staple video. Anytime you see that little button, like either the clue button or the Elder Sign, there's a link to where we discuss further either the staples or the clue getting tools there. Flashlight is a clue getting tool, but notably it also decreases the shroud by 2, which is also the number you need to succeed by.
Yeah, anything that has, like, 2 book symbols or gives you +2 is, or cares about you succeeding by 2 is extra good in Rex because that's what you're doing.
Yes, yeah.
That's always the goal.
Yeah. eCash gives you more resources. Guts, Perception, Manual Decks, and Unexpected Courage all give you relevant symbols. The Perception and Unexpected Courage are good for the reasons Travis just mentioned, and 3 of those 4 cards, the Guts, Perception, and Manual Decks, replace themselves after you use them. Upgraded Magnifying Glass is now fast, and you can also, if there are no clues on your locations, return it to your hand. That matters if you're, like, caring about other hand slot items, or alternatively, if you're caring about big hand stuff as well.
Yep.
The upgraded Disc of Examna is a baller card that I played yesterday to great success, and I'm high on Disc of Examna again. Great card! It just kills an enemy when you spawn it for a very low cost of just an action and 3 resources. It just gets rid of an enemy when you draw it.
Accessory slot.
Yeah, and your accessory slot, which...
And 2 experience.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good card.
No, I believe it's a good card. It's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff you need there.
Cryptic Research, just choose an investigator to draw 3 cards and it's fast. It's a good card. It does cost 4 experience, but it is very good.
It's like pretty good, yeah.
Elusive allows you to disengage from each enemy, engage with you, and move to reveal location. Just to escape is a little panic button if you don't want to buy the Disc of Itzamna. Or other, yellow kill spells that we're going to get into.
Yeah.
Opportunist, this one, if you succeed by 3 or more, you can return it to your hand after this test instead of discarding it. So while it's not 2 or more, it is a bit harder to loop. This is a way for you to get a boost up your book skill and get the cards back into your hand and not lose value.
Yeah, it's a weird one because you want to be up 2 for it gives you just a little bit of extra insurance. You want to be up 2 on your tests, and then this one cares about you being up 3 but provides the 3rd symbol.
Yeah.
So kind of pays for itself most of the time, and then when the time that it doesn't, hopefully it'll get you the extra clue.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Drawn to the Flame allows you to discover 2 clues of your location. All you gotta do is draw the top card of the encounter deck, which isn't too bad because your defensive stats are really nice. We got Water Protection to stop cards that you don't want to draw after playing your Drawn to the Flame. And then we got Cunning Distraction, Evade, it's a panic button. You might be asking, where am I getting all these resources from? Well, Dr. Milan Christopher, he loves giving you resources for doing what you like to do.
He'll pay anything.
Anything.
Yeah, he'll pay for anything, man. From Dunwich itself, we have Shortcut, just a solid movement card for Seeker. Spend 3 actions investing instead. We have Seeking Answers, which is one of the aforementioned investigate actions. When you succeed, instead of discovering a clue at your location, you discover a clue at connecting location. So on Rex, you can play this on Low Shroud location, succeed by a bunch, and then take 1 off connecting location, and then use this ability to get 1 off your location as well. I've got a plan, lets you fight using your book and deals extra damage for each clue you have. Getting clues is your job, so it's a nice little panic button. Preposterous Sketches, play one throws clue on your location, you draw 3 cards. It's a little bit outclassed in some of the layer cycles, but still an okay card draw card. Inquiring Mind, +3 to a skill test, only if there's a clue on your location. There's a lot of cards here that care about you there being clues on your location. You having clues, which is good because that's the only thing you do.
It is, yeah, 100%.
So, honestly, the text boxes, that portion might as well be blank.
Yeah.
It's just +3 to a skill. Dr. William T. L. Mailson, who has an ability, but really you pay 1, he takes 2 hearts and 2 brains for you.
He soaks for you.
Yeah.
He does go up in value if you have Scarlet Keys and some of the other ones too, but most of the time he's just soak.
Yeah, he can eat he does occasionally get an Ancient Evils, but...
And it is true as well, because it's also less bad if there's 1 clue on your location and you have 1 on you, you can drop 1 to just scoop them both back up with 1 action with Rex.
Yeah, Rex was kind of the good person for this archetype.
Yeah.
Until Scarlet Keys. Strange Solution has an action you test book for, and then if you succeed, you draw 2 cards and discard it, and you get to identify a solution, which we'll get to later. We have Pathfinder, which lets you move once for free every turn. It's good to investigate more times.
I can't believe this used to cost 1 experience too. That's wild.
But you have to not be engaged with any enemies, Justin.
Yeah. Well, good thing I have my Disc of Itzamna for that.
Yeah. And we have Deduction 2. This one gets you 2 additional clues if you succeed by 2 or more, and gives you 2 book symbols. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's a lot. It's 4 clues?
This is actually, in Rex, this is 3 clues for 1 card.
Yeah.
So 4 clues in total. That's an entire table's worth of clues for 1 card in 1 action.
Yeah. It's nuts.
We got Relic Hunter and Charisma here. We've talked about these in every video. They're just more of the thing. Higher Education. This costs 3 experiences printed, yeah. And while you have 5 or more cards in hand, it gains Lightning Bolt, spend a resource, get +2 brain for the skill test, or Lightning Bolt, spend a resource to get +2 book for the skill test. 5 cards in hand, not hard when you're playing Seeker, and if you're just investigating instead of playing your cards.
I love seeing the early things of the game where they're like, having a big hand is going to be tough. And then they're people are not going to draw through their deck. They're going to do it maybe once a game, right? And now it's card machine go burr. Right?
Yeah. I mean, even Rex's signature, they're like, hey, you want to draw 5 cards, and that's how many this needs?
Yeah.
You always have this in play. It was, part of one of the first most broken decks, where you have Milan and you have Rex, and you pay a resource to get +2 book, and then you succeid by 2, because this gives you +2, and you get 2 clues, and then Milan gives you your money back.
And do it again.
Yeah, and then you just do that every action, and then you never run out of cards in your hand because you're not playing them.
Yeah, because you don't need them.
What are you going to use them for? Getting more clues?
Yeah, with your deduction. Of the one time you put on a 6 clue location.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm still doing it.
Yeah. Then we have Deciphered Reality, which is another investigate action. The difficulty of skill tests equal the highest shroud value among revealed locations in play, and if you succeed, you discover a clue from each revealed location in play. This one can be, it's a very big payoff, but can be a little difficult to set up. Not so bad with like Pathfinder and stuff like that. And you do get an extra clue off your location with Rex's ability, because the investigate thing, it's fine. We have our 3 strange solutions here. They all cost 4 experience. Commit for 2 symbols. You can only include them in your deck if you identify the solution. And they, the first one uses 4 supplies. You can spend a supply to heal 2 damage from an investigator location. The second one has 3 supplies and lets you spend a supply to fight with base 6 fist, and the attack deals +2 damage, which is pretty egregious. Again, in the early days when you had spent 3 experience in higher education, your deck was done, and then you just got to dump it into this.
Yeah.
And then nothing could hurt you. And we also have the freezing variant, which is 4 uses, and then you spend a supply to evade with a base foot skill of 6, which is like still good, very fine. We got Delve Too Deep as first off color card here, just extra victory for the team. Here is a nice sort of 5th card that you're probably going to see it because of all your card draw, and you can just bail on a scenario if you need to.
Yep.
Quick Thinking, succeed by 2 extra action, good. And Alyssagram is an alternative book boost.
Yeah.
If you feel like...
Change things up.
Yeah.
If you're playing all Seekers and someone else already took Dr. Milan. All right, on to Carcosa. We have field work after you move to location. If it has a clue, you get +2 skill value for the test. Wow, 2. Succeed by 2, the magic number. No Stun Unturned allows someone to find a card in the top 6 cards of their deck. Just tutoring can be good, and if no one needs a card, it's a wild icon.
Yeah, it's a great filler card for Secret Decks.
Logical Reasoning, play if you only have at least 1 clue, if only Rex had a way to get clues. You get to choose an investigator location. That investigator either heals 2 horror or discards a terror card in their threat area. So, for example, Frozen and Fear can lock down rogues pretty handedly, and this is a way to beat that.
Yep.
And then we got Eureka, which is just a way to turn this card into the best of the top 3 cards of your deck, while also probably getting an extra clue off your location as Rex Murphy.
Yeah, really strong skill. Should be in a lot of your Secret Decks, in spite of what other people may tell you.
I'm not saying anything, but I agree. Archaic Glyphs. So this is the Carcosa research cycle. To translate, you need to discard a card with at least 1 skill icon from your hand as an action and place a resource on it as a secret. And then when the 3rd secret is placed, you gain 5 resources and record that you've translated the glyphs. The Guiding Stones is kind of juicy. It's basically Rex. It's like
Rex Plus.
Yeah, when Doctor Strange makes multiple versions of himself, that's what this card does. So you spend a charge, and for every 2 points you succeed by on this investigate, you discover an additional clue at your location.
Rex just walks up, he reads from the Guiding Stones, and a bunch of Rexes fan out, and they all pull out their magnifying glasses.
Yeah, I mean,
I know everything.
There's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with this card in other investigators. With Rex, it's probably just more of just play it as is, boost your stat up, use higher education, but you'll get a lot of clues in the process.
You always get 1 use out of this too, eh?
Which one?
You always get 1 clue out of it base, assuming you succeed.
Yes, yeah. No matter what, it's still an investigate action.
Yeah.
And then the prophecy foretold is you spend a charge to investigate. If you succeed, you may automatically evade an engaged enemy. This action does not provoke attacks of opportunity. That is a nice ability too, because you can still get 2 clues out of it.
So I'm still stuck on how good Guiding Stones is.
You haven't played it in a while, have you?
No, I haven't. On Rex, you succeed by 2. You get the base clue. Yeah. You succeed by 2, so you get your ability, and then you get the 2 from this, the 1 from this. Yeah. It's 3 clues for one action. Damn.
Yeah. No, it's a very good card and seems very spicy in Rex. We got In the Know. This is the one that Travis mentioned earlier. You're going to investigate at any real location and play as if you're at that location. If you succeed by 2, you get the clue from your location. The additional clue from your location. Yeah. Forewarned allows you. It's basically just canceling revelation effects. You just got to place some clues on your location.
1 clue.
Yeah.
Which is easy to get back.
Yeah, especially with Guiding Stones.
Yeah.
All right, we got Shortcut, which is the level 2 version. You have to attach to a location, but people can use it as a lightning bolt to move to a connecting location. It's certainly less generally good than the level 0 version, but it's still a good card because you still get a movement out of it, right? And if 2 people move it, you basically got 2 shortcuts out of the 1 copy of the card, and it does go up in value when you know the scenarios and campaigns.
Yeah, it's a solid upgrade. It is at worst, you're just paying 1 for your shortcut now.
Yeah.
But generally it's going to be better than that, so you can get more than 1 use out of it.
Arcane Insight is a fun little card that I imagine could be pretty fun in Rex. When investigator's taking his or her turn, spend a charge, location gets -2 Shroud until the end of the turn.
It's like +2 to all your tests.
It also works really well in 2 Shroud locations. If there's no monsters, you can be like, here you go, goon. This is now 0 Shroud location.
Go on,
you can do this.
You can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. And which is always like a fun aspect of the card. It is expensive experience-wise, but I think the card is still pretty all right.
I mean, it's like 9 flashlights, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's worth 4 experience.
Yeah. The upgraded No Stone Unturned is now the whole deck.
Yep, and it's fast. And you can play during any lightning bolt window.
Yeah, so
someone draw it's like a treachery they want to do of like, you go find your war protection.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Key of Ys, which is just a good card. Yeah. Really good in Rex Murphy. Really good everywhere, but also just good.
Everyone.
Yeah. The Let Me Handle This is a staple in the Guardian class. However, it also can do some work in Rex Murphy because it makes your stats 5 so when you take it from other people.
Yep.
Also, there are sometimes like when a book test is drawn out of the encounter deck and everyone's like, wow, that's wild, a book test? And then you go, hey, I'll take that, I'm Rex Murphy.
Yeah. Or like Frozen Fear, and you're like, I do not care.
Yeah, because I can just, pound through it with my higher education.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rex is like, I'm too smart to know that this ice will not freeze me.
Yeah.
We have Daring Maneuver, which is a cool Rex tech where it's just when you succeed at the skill test, you get +2 skill value for this test.
Yeah, this is like a deduction.
Yeah.
It is kind of just a deduction.
I'm going to talk about Lantern for a second because this is another card that I'm super hot on now. Because, like...
I think this card's like... I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great.
I don't think, like, it's great, but it is much like just like the -1 Shroud for this Investigate is basically magnifying glass, right?
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that also now especially there is things that care about lower Shroud locations and like testing at 0. Mm-hmm. I think Lantern stock is going way up. Buy a lot of copies of Lantern. It's going to go to the moon.
Okay.
But I think it's good in Rex as like the ability to once again further get to that succeed by 2. You can also in a pinch discard it to deal damage to an enemy, but this is just an alternative if someone else is using the magnifying glasses.
Yeah, like the damage is nice to like plink off a Whippoorwill or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. David Renfield, may he rest in peace. If he has at least 1 Doom on him, you get +1 brain, but he also makes a bunch of resources. You can exhaust him to place a Doom on him and gain 1 resource for each Doom on David Renfield. Yeah. Fight or Flight, you get +X Fist and +X Foot, where X is the amount of horror on you. Just another panic button that Rex has at his disposal. Mm-hmm. And then we got St. Hubert's Key, which makes both his brain and his book better at the cost of his 9 sanity. When you be defeated by horror, you instead heal 2 horror.
Only have 7. Oh no.
Only have 7, and then when you hit 7, you go back down to 5, and you have 4 left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgotten Age, we have Tooth of Vesely, another accessory. You get +1 brain, +1 foot, putting up to 4 of each when resolving an ability on a treachery card. And after you succeed a skill test, resolving an ability on a treachery card, you can exhaust draw a card. Great accessory for Rex, honestly. Mm-hmm. Truth from Fiction commits for 2 books. You play one if there's a clue on your location. You place 2 secrets on an asset you control. Very good for reloading certain high experience cards and getting more uses out of them. True Understanding commits for a wild. You commit only to a skill test from the ability print on a scenario card. If the skill test is successful, you discover a clue at your location. Not Investigate, but still like a nice way to get some clue compression, especially with those defensive stats. Mm-hmm. Backpack is a staple. You just find your items and your supplies, emergency cash, and then like whatever thing you're using to investigate with, really. Quick Study, you get to put one of your clues in your location, exhausted to get +3 skill value for this skill test. In Rex, this is like, it basically guarantees that you're getting the extra clue, so it just kind of guarantees you to get a clue every in an investigate action every time. Mm-hmm. But also has the flexibility to bump you up to 6 on your stats that you may need to, or 5 if you need to punch something.
Yeah.
That's a good number.
Sorry, I'm already reading ahead of Otherworldly Compass and be like, am I going to buy high on this? Buy a bunch on this one now, too?
Otherworldly Compass takes up a hand slot and is actually exhausted to investigate. Your location gets -X Shroud for this investigation, where X number of revealed locations connected to your location. I think we talked about this before and basically determined that it was a flashlight with infinite uses.
Yeah. Which is not, like, bad.
It's a little tough that you can only use it once per turn, but it's still, like, fine.
Yeah. I think this is one that you, like, you look to aim to get this as, like, part of a package of stuff that you're trying to do with it, but I do think it actually could be really good in a Daryl Simmons scavenging deck.
Yeah, maybe. We got our Ancient Stones here, which is the untranslated thing from this cycle. The base one costs an experience to put into your deck. And then you have to investigate. Your location gets +3 Shroud for this investigation, and if you succeed, you get an additional clue at your location. Wow. Discard an ancient stone and record in your campaign log that you identified the stone, and then you record the difficulty of the skill test. So if it's on a 2 Shroud location, you're testing against 5, and you succeed, you record 5 in parentheses next to you have identified the stone. The upgrade versions both cost 4. They have the thing you can only put in your deck if you did the lower level one. And they each have X secrets as uses, where X is the number that you have recorded next to you have identified the stone. So they would be 5 per our previous example. Mm-hmm. As a reaction, for the first one, when you draw any number of cards, spend that many secrets, deal that much damage to enemy or location.
5. Just use your freaking...
Seek the truth is your dead.
Yeah, that's... Whoa!
And then the other one lets you heal horror from a card at your location, which is like kind of silly in comparison.
Yeah.
But still fine.
Yeah.
We have Feed the Mind, which is a card draw card. It's an action you exhaust it and spend a secret to test book 0. Each point you succeed by, you draw a card, and then you take a horror for each card in your hand in excess of your maximum hand size. It's just a way to reload your hand multiple times if that's something you care about. Mm-hmm. We have Noctic Manuscripts, which is our first like big secret user, I guess. I guess the Ancient Stones kind of count, but... It uses 3 secrets, and as a reaction, when an investigator at your location would perform a skill test during a revelation effect, you can spend a secret to have them not reveal chaos tokens for the skill test. And as an action, you can spend a secret, choose an investigator at your location. They don't reveal chaos tokens for the next skill test they perform this round. You just get to pass tests.
Just pass tests.
It's like Will to Survive, but you get to pick when you use it.
And you can also reload it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
We have Lucky Cigarette Case. Wow, this is lucky. You might think that Rex can't play it because he's cursed, but that is incorrect. This is not a fortune.
Nope.
After you succeed by 2 or more, you get to draw a card.
I mean, when I saw Bryn play this with Rex, I was like, wow. I mean, in all fairness, when you played Rex, this card wasn't out yet. Mm-hmm. But it's a great card in Rex.
I'm playing this card in my most recent Rex deck.
I believe it. It's a good, yeah.
Extremely good, yes.
Yeah. Because you could also probably reasonably get by with it as a one-of in your deck, because you draw so many cards.
Yeah, you just walk around, you're like your first action turn, you're like, I can fit so many actions in this baby.
Yeah.
We got Perseverance, commits for 2 brains, and when you would die, you can cancel up to 4 of the damage or horror that would kill you.
Good card.
Yeah, nice one-of. Take the initiative, just like a Guardian staple that if no one else is playing, you can consider it. Slip Away lets you is an evasion option. You add your book to your foot, and if you succeed by 2 or more, the enemy is not elite, it gets locked down for an extra turn. Mm-hmm. And Winging It is another solid clue compression thing. You can play it from your discard pile, and if you do, you shuffle into your deck after resolving its effects. It's an investigate action. Your location gets -1 Shroud, so it's like an extra magnifying glass kind of.
Yeah.
And then if you play it from your discard pile, you get an additional clue if you succeed. So
what's actually also really cool is that Seeker has a lot of ways built into their kits as well to actually discard cards too. We're going to be getting to Occult Lexicon, which is actually like
yeah,
like that. There's actually some cool synergy there.
Yeah.
All right, where are we? We're on to Circle Undone.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's 3rd favorite expansion. I don't know. We have Fingerprint Kit, which is a great card. You get +1 book for this investigation. If you see, discover 3 additional clues.
Clues?
Sorry, unadditional clues.
Oh my god.
It has 3 supplies on it. This is it's a good card. And if you want to just get more clues at the cost of 4 resources, it's 3 deductions basically.
Man,
right?
my Fingerprint Kits suck.
Yeah. I can't believe I haven't played. You got 3 additional clues each action.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Connect the Dots. This is an expensive event that has a very powerful effect. If you discover the last clue of your location, discover 2 clues at a location with a lower printed shroud value than your location. This requires work to actually get to its full extent of power, but it is a powerful event if you can get it firing off. Curiosity, it's for big hands, just get more icons.
Yep.
Yeah. Crack the Case is a staple. It gives you a bunch of cashola. After investigator discovers the last remaining clue at your location, you get to split the shroud value of that location and resources.
You can take it all for yourself.
Hell yeah. You needed to play your higher ed.
Yeah, I need to get +8 on my next book test.
Grizzly Totem, the level 0 version, is a nice placeholder for the upgraded one, which we're going to get to, but basically after you commit a card to a skill test, it gains another icon of your choice.
Yep,
this is really nice for Rex's ability because it turns everything into probably 2 books for you. Mr. Rook allows you to find in the top 9 cards of your deck a card and a weakness if it's there.
Yeah, this is like probably where Mr. Rook is actually worst. Mm-hmm. Because Rex's stupid weakness never leaves your deck.
It's true. It's true.
And you just have to play in the token limbo forever.
But that does also mean you probably always have it in play. So Mr. Rook just says, hey, grab one of the top 9 cards of your deck.
Yeah, that's also very good.
Hawkeye Folding Camera is something you're going to hold in your hand slot that's going to eventually boost your brain, your book, and your sanity. Also, all you just need to do is be there when the last clue is discovered. We have the Occult Lexicon, which shuffles 3 copies of Bloodright, 2 into your deck, 1 into your hand. And Bloodright, draw 2 cards, discard up to 2 cards from your hand for each card thusly discarded. You may either gain a resource or spend a resource to deal 1 damage to an enemy or location. And of course, this action does not provoke attacks of opportunity.
No, never.
This is a good card for pinging small things. This is a good card in 2-player for killing things that are just around, and also just a good way to also potentially get more resources, turning other cards in your hand that you don't need right now into resources or damage.
I love the distance between this action is not provoke attacks of opportunity, where she's clearly very focused, reading a book in one hand, and like drawing a very complicated
and
symbol
the ghoul's
in
like,
blood in the.
The ghoul's like, I'll wait.
Yeah.
Take your time. Take your time.
What were you doing? I'll just wait and see.
We have Ghastly Revelation, which is, I hate this book so much, I'm going to die. It's discover 3 clues your location. You get to give your clues to another investigator or place any of your clues on any location. You're then defeated and suffer 1 mental trauma, and this action does not provoke attacks of opportunity, which is...
That's fair.
It is fair, because if it would kill you, you wouldn't play it. Like, if the ghoul was going to kill you, you're not going to play this card that kills you.
It's like a solid, like, 1-of for your 25th card, commits for 2 books, and then, like, maybe something bad happens. And
you just gotta go.
Yeah. Sometimes it just needs to happen.
Yeah. We have the upgraded Grizzly Totem, which does the same thing, where it gives an additional icon, but if it's successful, the Performing Investigator draws a card. Very nice. Esoteric Atlas allows you to move to a location that is exactly 2 connections away from your location, and you get to move to that location. Nice movement tool. It takes up a hand slot, which is a little bit tough, but, maybe there's ways to get more hand slots. There is. Arcane Enlightenment. Then we have Death 13, which just gives you more book. It's a tarot card, so if it's in your hand when the game begins, you get to put it into play. And then our splash card for Circle Undone is Deny Existence. Just say no to discarding cards, losing resources, losing actions, taking a damage, or taking horror from an encounter card or an enemy attack.
Yeah, you worked hard for those cards and actions that you have extra.
Yeah, they're yours. No one can take those from you.
Oh, I can do Dream Eaters. This practice makes perfect. Search top 9 cards of your deck for deduction, commit to the skill test, and then you get to return deduction to your hand and use it again later. Great card. So many clues. Dream Diary. This is your untranslated one from this cycle. As an action, you search your bonded cards, which is just a pile of cards set aside, for Dream Essence of the Dream, which you can see just to the right there is Unexpected Courage, and add to your hand. And after you succeed by 3 or more during a skill test to which Essence of the Dream was committed, if only you were trying to succeed by 2 or more, and this card commits for 2.
Yeah.
So, you get to record the thing that lets you upgrade it.
It's very easy to translate, but it just feels so bad when you don't translate it on the first one. You're like...
Yeah, like, it actually, because you invest in action play, you get invest in action to get it, and you're probably just using it on some dumb investigation thing that you're going to pass anyway, and you just don't pass by enough, you're like,
Yeah, and it's one of the things where, like, it gives you the easiest rate of return after you upgrade it, but for some reason, when you fail that first one, you're like, I've wasted my life.
Yeah. But to be fair, like, the upgrade ones are all kind of insane.
They're very insane. Like I said, like the rate of return it gets on it is like so quick. It's just like immediate. Like, here's your value that you wanted, sir.
Yeah, and you only need to upgrade one of them because you can just find it.
Yeah.
Their stupid research library, and you're playing Seeker.
And it's also like one of the things too. Like, Shrewd Analysis wasn't here because a lot of the things you want to target. But if you're only playing Dream Diary, Shrewd Analysis is a really easy one to hit.
Yep.
Because while the text on the card in getting to 4 icons is really good, as Travis is going to get to them in a second, you're also kind of playing them just to get a free Unexpected Courage each turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the upgrade ones all cost 3. They all have some symbols on them, like you care about them. And they take up a hand slot. You can only include it if you did the Interpreting the Dreams. And they'll have the reaction at the start of your turn. You get to add Essence the Dream from your bond cards to your hand. So you just get it every turn.
Yep.
And then they'll have a caveat that gives the Essence the Dream 2 extra symbols, so 4 in total. Dreams of an Explorer requires you to be at a location with at least 4 shroud, like, oh no, as if that wasn't your job.
Yep.
Dreams of a Madman is as while you're engaged with an enemy, which is like a nice panic button, but generally not your job as the Seeker. And then we have Dreams of a Child, which is while you have at least 8 cards in hand, it gets the 2 wild symbols, so, if you like having... Generally you want Dreams of an Explorer, I guess, but if you find yourself lots of cards and having dreams of a child is good, and if things are going real bad, maybe you want dreams of Nan. Your monster killer's not holding up their end of the deal.
Yeah. Notably, if you have two of them in play, for example, an explorer and a child, you still only get one copy of Dream Diary, Essence of the Dream, sorry, because there's only one in your bonded cards.
Yeah.
But you would get 6 icons if you hit both the stipulations on it.
Mm-hmm. Really? Yeah, I guess you would. It never occurred to me, but also like.
Well, it's also like ultimate win more.
Yeah, like I'd rather just have
it's
a
so
different
unnecessary.
thing in my hand slot.
Yeah.
And we have Upgrade Old Book of Lore here. Uses 2 secrets. The difference is that the person who searches their deck, you can spend a secret to have them immediately play that card, reducing its cost by 2.
It's a good effect. Yeah. Basically, if you're not Daisy, it cancels the action put into it.
Yeah. We have the Eye of Truth, which is a 5 experience skill. Very powerful. Commits for 4 wild. Imagine being 5 experience for Promise Power, Justin.
You know, I understand the card's good.
Yeah, it is practice too, which is actually kind of insane.
Yeah.
But anyway, if this skill test is on Treachery and the test is successful, which it should be, you're testing with +4, you get to add the Treachery to the victory display and attach the Eye of Truth to it. And then for basically the rest of the game, whenever someone draws one of those, they get +4 to their skill tests on it.
Yep.
Extremely good. Then we have the Black Cat, 5 cost ally who soaks forever.
Forever.
Yeah, forever.
That's kind of his job. And then when you get like the Elder Sign, you actually have another choice. You have 3 decision points to make there.
Not really. It's +5, heal all damage from and take your extra clue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And we have a couple of off-color cards here. Read the Signs is very good for Rex. Basically guarantees that you are going to get that extra clue and also another extra clue.
3 clues. It's Spectral Razor, but for clue.
Yeah. And we have Ethereal Form, which turns you ethereal.
Into a ghost.
Yeah, you're a ghost, Rex.
Yeah, I mean, like I think this card is still you get to do a 6 with this one. It's a good panic button if you're worried about that kind of thing.
Yeah. Look at all the strong cards here.
Yeah, it's a good cycle outside of Blessed Curse. There's a lot of strong stuff in there.
I think this might be the biggest, the fullest slide that we have for an investigator that isn't.
I would agree.
Like Sister Mary.
I think there's been one other person who's made it to the second side, because every time I'm happened, I'm like, damn it, I gotta make another slide. All right, but for a detailed breakdown on the curse cards, the Seeker curse cards, you can check the video description for a link to the relevant archetype guide. Seeker curse would probably be great in Rex. You could probably really do some good stuff with that. Like, there's a lot of good cards.
But, like, it kind of gimps your ability a little bit.
That is true. Not if everyone else draws it. I mean, as soon as you get Blasphemous Covenant, you're off to the races.
Yeah, but you do get, like, all the strong yellow cards plus the level 0 off-color stuff, which is here. And you should probably consider playing it anyway.
Cryptographic Cipher is basically a flashlight, but also you can take an extra action to investigate, or an extra lightning bolt to investigate. And your creation gets +1 Shroud at the cost of this not doing an action. It's a good card, though, Cryptographic Cipher. You should try it out if you haven't played it. We have Plan of Action, otherwise known as the most disappointing card in the world. But it's still, like...
there's got to be something more disappointing than this.
I don't know. This one, it just bums me out. It feels like it doesn't... There's something's wrong.
I still play this card.
Yeah, no, it's still playable, but like it doesn't do what you think it does. It doesn't give you brain during the Mythos phase. If you're wondering that at home, but it is just a good practice card for a filler if you don't have things that like you want to upgrade into, or if it's just a good for if you're not even playing a practice makes perfect deck. It's just a fine skill. Eldritch Sophist allows you to move secret charges around. He cheats at chess. Still my favorite Bryn joke, where it's like, once you let go of your assumptions, anything is possible, as the guy moves his rook diagonally across the board, and you're just like, wait a minute. Hyper Awareness is a baller card. You get 2 resources, and you replenish them at the start of each round, and you can spend resources from your resource pool or Hyper Awareness to get +1 book or +1 foot for this skill test.
Like deduction every turn.
Yeah. Ariadne's Twine is a very powerful card, which allows you to move a secret from an asset you control to your resource pool as a resource or vice versa.
Dumb card.
Every time I feel like I'm cheating when I play this card, but basically this card just says, hey, don't run out of secrets on your stuff. Secrets on Ariadne's Twine can be spent as if they were on any asset controlled by Investigator location, which is also just there as text. It's basically like if you don't hit the things that have secrets yet, you can start moving them to this.
Yeah, like this is nice if you're playing with like Cryptographic Cipher or whatever, you're like, yeah, this is pretty okay. And then you play it with like Pen to the Queen or like Noptic Manuscripts, you're like, this is not okay.
Yeah. Yeah, basically anything that can that uses secrets and like that's part of the experience cost, this kind of just nullifies.
Yeah.
Faustian Bargain, Promise of Power, 2 of the curse cards that are just staples. They give you 5 money or 4 icons. Really good cards.
Yeah, if no one else in your group is playing these, you should.
Yeah. And then we got Mariner's Compass Rex, which is a deck that I think like you'll probably want to build a bit around because like your money can go to other things. Well. Yeah. And what this does is it basically just gives you additional clues if you have no resources in your pool, and you can use the resources in your pool while investigating with Mariner's Compass to, you know, get more book.
It's really just like higher education, but different.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, like 100%. It's really good though because if you have no clues, really well with
higher education.
You get 3 clues.
Yeah, and if you have no money, if you have no resources, you get 3 clues.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Like you're
playing. If you have no clues, and I was like, have I misread this card every
my
time
mistake.
I read it?
I'm already in blubber brain already. Yeah. I've been saying clues and resources and cards so much in this goddamn video. Yeah. But it's very good in Rex. Brandon was saying how his brother, he saw his brother play this for the first time and was like really impressed by it, and I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it does play. It plays very well with higher education because you're gonna have lots of cards in hand because you have no money to play them.
Yeah, and it also works really well in higher education because you don't need to use Mariner's Compass's lower rate ability then.
Yeah, spend 3 resource plus 3 book, get 6 book instead.
Yeah, yeah. That's just math. That's just easy.
2 bigger than 1. Edge of the Earth. Force Learning. Increase your deck size by 15, and then each turn you draw 2, and then discard 1 instead of drawing 1. It's fun. Is it good? Not really, but it's fun.
Yep.
Jeremiah Kirby, +1 book. This guy competes with Dr. Milan, and honestly, I think he loses in Rex a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. But he's still a very good include. When it comes to play, you choose even or odd, flip the top 5 cards of your deck, and then each of the cards that matches that you add to your hand. It's very easy to sort of... it's another one where it's kind of like, you think people wouldn't build decks just with even cost cards in them?
Yeah. I mean, like, I still think that Jeremiah Kirby is very fair, even if you do draw 5 off of him. Because then he die. Like, then you have to kill him to get the effect again.
Yep.
But then, unfortunately, something else came around.
Hit and run should really just be, like, Rogue Allies or something like that.
Yeah. This is reminding me of my favorite tweet I've ever made on the Playing Board Games one, which was when the taboo thing came out, and it was Scar with his claws in Mufasa's hands. Yeah. But it was Jeremiah Kirby was Mufasa, Scar was Dr. Milan, and just said, "Long live the king." I mean, it's very apt. Like, this was the one ally that I thought competed with him.
I was so excited when Jeremiah Kirby came out, and like, I can stop playing Milan in every single deck, and they were like, no. Yeah. So we printed some dumb green card that's broken with him and like the 3 investigators you can play, and it's like, okay. Yeah. Why though?
Why did they have to do that?
Yeah. Anyway, Pocket, like they clearly had the foresight to realize that it was gonna be too good with him. Just like change it so it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Make an ally who costs 3 or less. Like, come on, guys. Anyway, Pocket Telescope. Look at the revealed side of connecting unrevealed location, or you can investigate at revealed locations if you're there. Great action saver in Rex because you can get a clue from that location and also your location, and also just break some scenarios. Yeah. Heavy first, after reveal on auto fail, symbol token on chaos token, you can deal damage to it to pick a different one. Pretty solid for Rex for some of those late game big ones, big like squids and tablets and stuff like that to get them out of there and make sure that you are passing by 2 when you need to.
Yeah, notably it's symbol, not just... -1 is not a symbol. -1 is a number.
Numbers are symbols, Justin. Then we have Archive of Conduits, which...
Squid Book!
Squid Book, yeah. So it takes up a hand slot, and limit 1 per deck, 2 to play, commits for a while. This is your untranslated thing for this cycle. After you successfully investigate when you play it, you put a resource on 4 different locations as ley lines. After you successfully investigate a location with a ley line, you exhaust the Archive of Conduits to put the ley line onto the Archive of Conduits. And then if there are 4 on it, you discard, take its ley lines as resources, and record in your campaign log that you have identified the gateway. These all require you to do that. They all take up an arcane slot. They all cost 4 resources to play. They all commit for 2 of a symbol and a wild symbol. They all use 4 ley lines, and they are all limit 1 per deck. They'll have a lightning bolt ability that allows you to move a ley line from them to something else. The first one, Gateway to Tyndalos, allows you to move the ley line to a non-elite enemy. And then the action on it lets you choose an investigator and an enemy with a ley line at a revealed location. The investigator moves to that location, and then you can take the ley line off the enemy to deal damage to it. Nice to get your guardians moving around. We have our Gateway to Acheron, which you move a ley line to a revealed location. And as an action, you choose an investigator and a revealed location with a ley line. That investigator moves to that location. You may remove the ley line to have them take an investigate action. This one is insane when it is good. Like, broken, good. Being able to spend your actions to move the fighters around when they need to be is absolutely absurd. We have Gateway to Aldebaran, which you move a ley line to a non-lead enemy. As an action, you choose an investigator engaged with an enemy with a ley line. That investigator disengages from that enemy and moves to a connected location. You may remove the ley line to automatically evade that enemy. This action is not provokes attack of opportunity. It's a pretty solid, like, defensive card for you, where, like, if you ever get engaged with a guy, you just... I mean, it's not a lead enemy, it's like, who actually cares, though? Yeah, but anyway, you get to leave, and then you can evade them if you want, I guess. And then we have Gateway to Paradise, which you move a ley line to an investigator. As an action, you choose an investigator with a ley line. That investigator either draws one card and heals a damage or 1 horror. And you may remove the ley line to have them instead draw 2 cards and heal 2 damage or 2 horror. So it's actually pretty solid where you can, like, it doesn't... It's like healing that you don't need to be at their location for, I think.
100%, yeah. Just choose an investigator with a ley line.
Yeah, you can. It's great for supporting your fellow investigators. The Gateway to Aldebaran one was like,
yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
I was pretty solid though.
All right, I'll take this next one because you literally talked for like 3 years. Hiking boots gives you more foot. It gives you +1 foot. You can only wear 1 footwear, and after last clue is discovered from a location, you can exhaust hiking boots to move to a connecting location with at least 1 clue or to a connecting unrevealed location.
Why would you want to go to a location without clues?
So this card is like, it's a good card. Yeah, try it out. Try it out. It's not like Pathfinder levels, but it is still
like
good.
Pathfinder, but fair.
Yeah, yeah. That's a very apt way of putting it. Survey the area gives you 3 book or 4 foot.
It's a solid skill.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, foot is probably like the second best stat to have a panic button for. The other one is probably brain, just by the nature of the game works. But still, it's nice to have. The Prophesy Profana, otherwise known as bad book, broken book, you bad, go home.
How do these skills function if you commit them to someone else's test?
In your hand, commit to a skill test. It's yours, so it gets your stat, not theirs. So it'd say that investigators.
That's pretty neat, actually. So like that makes the brain one exceptionally good.
Yeah. So the Prophesy Profana, you get +1 book and +1 foot when you're not at the locus. You also can ignore attacks of opportunity. After Nerds play, you choose a real location. That location is the locus until it leaves play. And then you can also move any investigator to the locus.
+1 book and never die.
+1 book and foot and never die. So you actually have 4 foot now. What everything Travis said about the Gateway to Acheron, cross-board movement for people is very powerful. Yeah. Even on smaller maps. Like if you're moving someone 2 locations, that's a positive. Yeah. We got Eon Chart 1 and Eon Chart 4. They take up a necklace slot. They have secrets that when they come in, and they each cost 2. Look at that. As Lightning Bolt, during your turn, you can exhaust it and spend a secret to choose and take one of the following actions: move, evade, or investigate. And the upgraded one is you have to take 2 of the following actions. Very nice card, and just means more good stuff. Janae Beauregard, another very, very strong ally. She gives you a foot and a book. And after you move to a location, you can exhaust her to move a clue or a non-elite enemy from a connecting location to your location or vice versa. Obviously, this is really good at getting enemies out of the way. But one thing I kind of think is kind of fun with Rex is that you can, if there's 1 clue on your location, you can move and bring it with you to the new one. This works especially well in 3 players, where a lot of locations have 1 clue per player, and this just allows you to always have your 2 clue amount on it.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of fun. We have divinations. These are investigate spells where you can use your brain instead of your book, but you also can just use your book. And you get +1 skill value or +2 skill value for the higher level version. If you succeed, you can spend 1 or 2 charges. And instead of discovering a clue at your location, discover 1 clue at your location for each charge spent. And if you succeed by 0, you choose and discard a card from your hand. The upgraded version is now up to 3 charges, and it's 4 or 6 charges respectively. So this is really good with Rex because you can get more. But I'm pretty sure... What I actually don't know what the case is, but I'm curious what happens if you investigate when this has no charges on it. Do you still get, basically you can use this to always get +2 for the upgraded one? Because if you succeed, you don't get it, but you can still get a thing with Rex's ability,
I think
right?
so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Let us know in the comments down below if there is some sort of weird.
I don't see why not. Yeah, can you do that with Blur?
Yeah, and you just don't get the additional clues, right?
Yeah.
It's just you're basically just using this for +2. Yeah. Down the rabbit hole is our first off-color one here, which is if you're going to be upgrading cards, this is just a way to get more experience out of them. Mm-hmm. You need to have a plan for it, but it's very possible.
Yeah, it's very easy to build a level 0 Secret deck, and you're like, this is a great deck. I just want a handful of the cards to be better.
Yeah, yeah. And then Jury Rig, which seems kind of strange, but it has the special number on it.
It is a little bit out of place,
yeah.
But you can stick on your magnifying glass or your Grim Tome, is that what it's called?
Grim Memoir.
Grim Memoir, yeah.
No, you can't actually put your magnifying glass. You're not taking a test with it. It's just giving you something. But your cryptographic cipher.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, which Travis and I have actually done to great success. Mm-hmm. All right, Travis.
This is Return 2s. Okay, we got Preposterous Sketches, level 0, costs 0 now. Level 2 costs 0 now.
Level 0 costs 2, level 2 costs 0. They've done it.
All the cards are yellow, and they all don't cost very many resources, and they all draw cards and get.
And they all commit for a book or a brain.
Or a book and a brain, yeah. We have a new Strange Solution, which uses 3 supplies, and as an action, you can spend a supply and exhaust it. Why are you exhausted? None of them do that. Choose invest your location, gain 2 resources, and draw a card. Yeah, it's good, but yeah.
It's there to just weaken the. I mean, you're not. No, I don't even know.
Like, it's not bad though, but like, why is exhausting? Whatever. We got Logical Reasoning, level 4. Which is for each clue you have to a maximum of 3, you either heal 2 horror from investigate your location or discard a tarot card at your location. You have a buddy over there who's like nearly insane. You just heal them for 6 horror and you're like, you're fine.
Yeah. Or even just like, you go to the rogue and you're like, oh no, you're frozen in fear and have 4 horror on you. Yeah.
Everything is fine. They're like, you're right.
Yeah. I should be
Rex
more
on your
logical.
team. You can't lose, and they're like, yes.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
We have Markings Vices, which is a different upgrade for the archaic list. You investigate, and if you succeed, you get to play cards. Mm-hmm. Based on the amount you succeed by. Okay.
Yeah, we'll run the cost.
Sure.
Oh no, it has to be printed cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got upgraded Truth and Fiction, which is really good though. Costs 1 and 2 experience. Commits for 3 books. And you put 2 secrets among assets controlled by investigators your location. 3 instead if there's a clue on your location. Wow, so many secrets for 1 resource. Mm-hmm. We have a different Ancient Stone. This one is when you draw a number of cards, you can spend that many secrets to move that many times. Pretty good, actually.
That is nice.
Yeah. Especially since like it's just like a free move action during the upkeep every turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Upgrade Backpack, which is staple, and searching 12 cards is not so good. You'll just find whatever you're looking for. We have the World 21 as a new tarot card, which, as a lightning bolt, if you have 8 or more cards in your hand, you can exhaust it to draw a card. Same tarot thing where you get to play it for free, and just good and keep your hand full for the hand-sized decks.
I love it because it just reads like such excess. It's just like...
But it's not, though, when you're playing that archetype.
No, it's very good in it, but the text on it is so funny to me. If you have 8 or more cards in your hand, just go more, baby. Yeah, but it's very good in the archetype.
Yeah, the Journey's complete subtitle's so good for it, too. You get to 8 cards, you're like, I've done it. Give me more. We have our upgrade, the Occult Lexicon, which is 3 experience now. Still produces the same blood rights, but as a reaction, when you play a blood right, you can either change each 2 on to a 3 or shuffle it into your deck instead of discarding it. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We're almost done, Justin.
We're almost done. This one's going... I mean, apart from like the main mush of seeing all these goddamn secret cards, it's been going pretty good.
You're looking at just a massive plus book and like extra clue.
All right, Solano Fragments, which is the hand size way to increase your book in your brain. Yep. So you're only going to play this in the hand size deck. You're not just going to play this just because.
Yeah.
Level 0 High Education. It's in your deck now, so it's no longer permanent. And you have to spend a resource to only gain +1 brain or +1 book. But if you're playing
down the rabbit hole,
very nice there.
Yeah.
We got Winning Green, and just below her is the upgraded Winning Green. Just going to skip ahead a bit. If you have a Tome or Relic asset, you get +1 book. And then after you reveal location or put in a location to play, you can exhaust Winning Green to search top 6 cards of your deck for a Tome or a Relic and draw it. The upgraded version also gives you a Brain, and it's top 9 instead. Another option, if you're going into a heavy Tome or Relic build, you can consider this over Dr. Blanc Christopher, or fuck it. Just get the Miskatonic funding and run them both.
Yeah. That's an easy choice.
Yeah. We got Burning the Midnight Oil, staple if we didn't include it, but it should be. Yeah. It's just investigate when this action begins, gain 2 resources. Holy hell, you can get 2 clues off of this.
Oh, here's the shadow like a Shoggoth or something over Harvey Walters, and he's just like, God, I'm so tired of reading.
Yeah. No, that's just the librarian being like, you have to go home. The library's closed.
I want to go home.
There's 2 copies of Burning the Midnight Oil. That's the first time that's ever happened. No. That's wild.
We haven't hit a fortune yet. So.
No, that was good. You nailed that. We have a Called Invocation. As additional cost to play it, discard up to 2 cards from your hand. Fight. This uses book instead of fist. You get +1 book and deal +1 damage to attack for each card discarded as part of this card's cost. This is another option if you wanted to do a Winging It package and not actually just have to play Winging It.
Yep.
Cryptic Writings. That's actually probably what the Burning the Midnight Oil is supposed to be. That other one.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just gain 2 resources.
The level 0 version is gain 2 resources, and after you draw it during your turn, you can play it for free.
And the upgraded version, this one that we see over on the right, is gain 3, 4 if you have 10 or more other cards in your hand.
Yeah. Level 0 also commits for 2 book, whereas this commits for a book and wild.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you're planning on drawing a lot of cards like Rex Murphy does, these are great includes for your economy. Mm-hmm. And they also, like, don't suck to just play if you need the resources, and they also don't suck to commit to grab an extra clue as well.
Yep.
Yeah. I've got a plan. The upgraded version, you get to it uses your book instead of your fist. You get +2 book for this test. You deal +1 damage for this attack for each clue you have.
You get +2 book for this test is what it does.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Yep.
Good card though. Very good card.
Yes, especially with that 4 book.
Yeah. We got Mind Over Matter. This is a 1 cost to experience. You basically, instead of just using book in place of your fist or your foot, you get to add your book to your fist or your foot. You also draw a card. It replaces itself.
Yeah, there's a reason this one's here and the level 0 one isn't. Yeah. This is a fantastic just one of panic button.
Yeah. If you are playing down the rabbit hole, Mind Over Matter is a good if you're going to upgrade, it's a good one.
Yeah.
How many times have we said panic button? I think this is the most we've said panic button in a video for a while.
Probably.
Yeah. Seeking Answers, the upgraded one. If you see, discover 2 clues among your location and connecting locations. I think this is a nice upgrade as well. Like, the other one's not bad in Rex, especially because of the synergy with his ability.
Yep.
But this is a nice upgrade.
I mean, the other one's playable in Rex because of his ability. This one's just like a solid card in general because it's got a deduction baked in.
Yeah. Upgraded Perception, it commits for 3 books, and if you succeed by 2 or more, you draw 2 cards, which is what you're doing. Yeah. And then we got the Necronomicon, otherwise known as Broke Book. Book broken.
I can't believe stupid Gnostic manuscripts came to mind when I was complaining about Ariadne's Twine. Not this.
Well, because this one's been
forgot it existed.
This one's been locked away. Yeah. And I can't talk about this one. It's too broken. I can't even play it anymore.
I played this a while ago, and when I was playing with my family, I played through Carcosa. I was playing a Joe Diamond Necronomicon deck, and I was just like. It was intended. It was going to be a well-prepared deck. Yeah. But no, it was just I'll take 3 clues now, please.
Yeah. So you just got to spend secrets. It comes in with 6. You can spend a secret to get +2 skill value. Spend 2 to draw 2 cards. Spend 3 to discover a clue at any location. Spend 4 deal 3 damage to an enemy engaged with you. It's bonkers.
And it doesn't exhaust.
Yep. Into our off-color, our last 3 cards here to talk about Rex. We have Safeguard. Why move when your goon can move for you? Normally we say the other way around, but Rex's ability, especially if we're playing the non-tabooed Rex without the errata that we suggested, it's very good. You're better spent investigating. Have everyone else drag you around. Stand Together just gives you resources to you in another investigate location, and then level 0 streetwise, you can spend 2 resources to get +2 book for this skill test. It's basically as a placeholder. The +2 foot is good as well for being defensive. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a solid off-color card. You wouldn't think it, but those are both stats that the +2 book you care about, and the +2 foot you kind of care about, especially if you are willing to devote more of your deck to economy.
Yeah, I mean even also if you draw grasping hands, this can get you out of it, no problem. Yeah. All right, Travis.
Okay. Hey, I'm including this deck. Nice. This is our basic Rex Murphy deck. It's so
we got all the cards we talked about.
Yeah, it's all the cards we talked about. We have Higher Education. This is a Mariner's Compass deck. We want to play our Mariner's Compass. We also have Magnifying Glass to help supplement it. We have Dr. Mullen Christopher because he's the ally that you want. It's hard to compete with him. We have 2 copies of Higher Education, 1 copy of Streetwise. These are definitely flexible, but they're ways to spend all your resources for book, basically. And occasionally for other stats if you care about them. Event-wise, we have Burn the Midnight Oil, Crack the Case as our resource options. We have No Stone Unturned as a way to help find our Mayor's Compass or whatever else you might need. We have 1 copy of Preposterous Sketch, this is sort of our 25th card to just keep our hand full. Again, that could definitely, I mean, it probably should be a Deep Knowledge, but whatever. And we have 2 Practice Makes Perfects, which are going to hit all of our skills except for Eureka, but I'll get to those in a minute. We have 2 Shortcuts as our last events, just as for extra action compression. The Eurekas they're just good cards, man. Mm-hmm. And then we have Deduction, because that's the one you want to hit off Practice Makes Perfect. Promise Power, because it's also extremely strong to hit off Practice Makes Perfect. And Perception and Plan of Action exist.
Yeah, they're there too. They do their job though. Like, still getting a perception off of Practice Makes Perfect.
Yeah, and Plan of Action kind of, but like, it's better than whiffing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, this is the Rex deck. If you guys haven't picked it up yet, he gets clues. That's it.
That's it.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We talked about the Clue Getter Extraordinaire. Next week, we're going to talk about Enemy Killer. Well, 2 weeks from now, we're going to talk about Enemy Killer Extraordinaire, Tony Morgan.
Oh, yeah, okay.
He kills enemies, and he basically just broke all rogue weapon design single-handedly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of nuts. So, we'll be there in 2 weeks to talk about that. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. And as always, a GG's.